Hello and welcome to another Should You Buy, and today we're looking at the Viper. We're going to be going through its specs, what omnipods it has, hardpoints and hitbox possible locations based on its concept art, and a summary conclusion of whether or not it will be strong in the current meta, what roles it will take, and whether or not you should purchase it for money, C-bills, or give it a pass because other things can do what it does. And first thing, we'll start off, we'll go down, and we'll look through the packages here. It's the same as most of the packages they've been doing recently. Standard pack $20, collector's pack $40, with the collectors giving you an additional prime variant that is a special. Good thing about the prime variants for clan mechs is that you can swap out omnipods to put onto the prime so that you can get any omnipod configuration with C-bill bonus. So there's a good part about Omnimex. It's not limited to that individual variant. You can swap things around. Hero add-on, reinforcements add-on, very standard. Our variants we have are the Prime Alpha Beta in the standard packages and the Charlie and Delta in the reinforcements, with the Medusa being the hero. And let's go down and look at their stats here. If I can bring this there, you can see everything. Okay, let's go through this. We have a 40-ton mech with an XL320 engine going at 129.6 kph with ferro and endo steel and 10 heat sinks, 8 jump jets. We alt-tab into my Spreadsheet Warrior and go to my theory crafting page. We have that information here. The Viper, 40 tons, 320XL engine, comes in at 18.5 tons. The speed, we're calculating, 129.6, and tweaks will be a 139.3. So this is basically going about the same speed as an Arctic Cheetah, that sort of feeling. Our endo steel structure is going to cost us 2 tons, and full ferrofibrous armor is 7.1, with 4 tons of fixed equipment. There is these 8 jump jets with half a ton each. Taking all that away, our pod space remaining from our 40 is 8.4 tons for 21%. So starting off, it's a little low. It's 21%. I like to see most mechs around 30 or more as my sort of level at which I start being like, that could be useful. That could be a good mech. 40 or more is that strong, and if you have over 50%, you have tons of guns, and that's my positioning on it. We take a look at the Viper in comparison to all other clan Omnimechs currently in the game. We see it here, 40 tons, 21% at 8.5. We look at things that are similar to it. We have the Ice Ferret at 9 tons. We have the Arctic Cheetah at 8 tons. And it's going to fill very similar roles to those two. Right now, the Ice Ferret and Arctic Cheetah both do energy-based weapons and maybe some SRMs or something along those lines. And say like the Ice Ferret with 3 SRM-4s and 2 metal lasers, or the Arctic Cheetah with like 5 small pulses or 6 small lasers. Those are going to be the kind of builds you're also going to be able to put onto the Viper. If you look how it goes into the spreadsheet here, we can see it down here in the bottom left with tonnage along the bottom and then available pod space along the left. You can see it down here with the Ice Ferret. Basically, they're going to be very similar, where the Ice Ferret will be that ground pounder, has a little bit more durability because it's heavier, but the Viper will have more mobility because it is the ability to jump and have, I believe, a slightly higher top speed. But if we go back to the stats here, we're going to look through the omnipods and what you get with the different levels of the packages. With the standard package, you're going to get the Prime, and if you get the collector's pack, the Prime S, the Alpha, and the Beta. And if we look through, we can see that the best combination for energy hardpoints would be Bravo left arm, Alpha left torso, no unique center torsos, a Alpha right, and then a Prime right, which will give you a total of 1, 3, 5, 7 energy hardpoints. And that would be more than enough to do any of the energy-based builds that you want to do. 7 small lasers would fit quite well on it, and 4 medium pulse would fit perfectly in there, because our pod space, if we look back here, is going to be 8.4 tons. 4 med pulse would fill up those 8 tons completely. 5 med lasers with some additional heat sinks, things along those lines will fit in that quite well. It has access to 2 ballistic in the right torso of the Prime, but machine guns are probably going to be your only option for ballistics, and anything else would probably be too heavy to take. So 2 machine guns, not really that good with just 2 ballistics, so we'll pass on the machine guns. We'll look at the missile hardpoints. We have the maximum of 1 in the left arm for both the Prime and the Alpha, and then no other missiles at all available in the standard package. If we expand this to the Charlie and the Delta, we get the first one with a unique center torso, the 1 energy in the Charlie. This is an optimization thing. Having the energy in the CT can be nice, although it's not required, because you can get enough energy hardpoints through any other Omnipod configuration to get the 6+ energy hardpoints that you would need to make a small laser or a small pulse laser mech viable. It's not necessary, but it is nice sometimes. That way when you lose a side torso, you retain an additional energy compared to the other mech that would have that 1 more weapon destroyed after a side torso loss. Thing is, what this also does is it opens up ballistics. So now you have 4 ballistics in 2 in each side torso from the Charlie. That's starting to get into, hey, this is actually functional with machine guns. So 4 machine guns in there would work quite well. Even just the Charlie in its base setup here with 5 energy hardpoints and 4 machine guns, you could do some interesting machine gun, small laser, small pulse laser build on it, and it would be functional. So it's the only really build that this variant, the Charlie, is adding, is the ability to use machine guns effectively. If we look at the Delta, it's adding a little bit of missiles. So before we could only get really 1 missile in the left arm, but the Delta adds a missile in the right torso. So now you can do 2 Therm 6s and some energy. It's not crazy, but it is slightly better for missiles, but really there's not enough missile hardpoints unless you get both the reinforcements and the Medusa. The Medusa, being the hero, gives these 3 energy arms, where that is an increase over the standard packages and the reinforcement packages, but its side torsos, right torso lacks a hardpoint, its center torso is an AMS, and that's not really anything. AMS is okay, but could just be used sparingly. But it adds a missile in the left torso, so now you can get up to 3 missile. You can get left arm, left torso, right torso, and with some energy there, and say you put those Omnipods onto a Charlie to get the center torso energy, it without the Medusa and the reinforcement packages, you're not able to do a missile variant of the Viper. You're pretty much set to just do energy weapons on it. So some things that I have predicted in terms of builds for this is going to be 7 small lasers. That will work. The 4 medium pulse lasers. This build here will run some small or small pulse and machine guns, and then there will be a variation of the Medusa or something along those lines with a bunch of missiles, say 3 CERM 4s and 2 energy, similar to how my friend currently runs his Arctic, no, it's not his Arctic, his Ice Ferret. Now, let's take a look back up at the concept art and think about where these hitboxes and hardpoints will be. You can see that the hardpoints in the torso are going to be very high up, so they're going to be right in your cockpit level. So that is good. That's a good plus for it. It does have this jutting nose, so that's going to be a slight concern, is how small is this mech? How much does the side torso go down the nose to protect it? Because that nose might make it difficult to shield, might make it difficult to torso twist away, but it's a 40-ton mech. Generally, you're not going to be staying out and tanking damage that much. You're going to be retreating and repositioning, so while it's important, it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. In terms of side torsos, they look okay. I'm assuming that this section here is arm, and so that side torso is actually not too terribly big. I think the mech will be pretty decent for spreading damage around itself. Probably its only downside in terms of these arms is going to be they're slightly low compared to the cockpit, and you could be knuckle dragging a little bit with them, but it should have enough mobility that you can clear an objective, like clear a hill or clear a ridge line or whatever you need to do to get your weapon on target and then retreat back very quickly. Overall, I'd say the Viper is I'd say it's worth the purchase in terms of dollars for a person who's looking for a clan version of the Cicada. So if you wanted a kind of a mix between an ice ferret and an Arctic cheetah with a little bit of Cicada thrown in, it's going to be this mech. It's going to have 8 jump jets on a 40-ton chassis, so this thing's going to fly, and it's going to be relatively quick. You're just going to be relegated to energy-based builds for 9 times out of 10, or 8 times out of 10. The one time will be that machine gun build, and the other one time will be an SRM build. But the Gen 2C does better SRMs, and there's not really anything else down at the Clan Light spectrum that does better machine guns. So this might be our light machine gun mech with the reinforcement add-on side torsos from the Charlie. Now, of course, there is small concerns about the fact that, hey, you know, these are the best arms in terms of amount of hardpoints, but with the standard package, you do get the A, which gives you 2 in each side, and that's basically enough to be okay. Those are the best side torsos for energy hardpoints, so having these improved ones in the arms are okay for the Medusa. I do think it's fine that the Medusa is sort of like if you want to play missile, you should get this one, like the combination of the reinforcements of the Medusa, or unlocking additional playstyles in the sense that they're not going to be any better than the energy-based ones. They might be actually slightly worse, but they cause that to be new, which is fine for me. So overall, if you like the concept of a fast flanking medium like the Cicada or the Ice Ferret that's going to be energy based and can jump like crazy, the Viper, I would say, is actually a good purchase in order to have a 30% C-Bill variant that you can customize and use. If you don't like that concept, want to give it a try, I'd wait for C-Bills, and if fast mediums are not your thing, skip it and play something else. Overall, yeah, you could do the same thing right now-ish with an Arctic Cheetah, plus have ECM, which none of these variants, I believe, have, so that is very important to note. But it's fine. It's a good mech. It's going to be relatively powerful with its energy-based builds, and we'll see what quirks it will have as well that should just improve on its base design. But that'll be it for the Viper. Thanks for watching, and good hunting.